Shame about the Asna. Do do do. Shame about the Asna. Do do do. You know, it's tough out here. You know, being being a Man United fan, and watching your team sort of crawl its way through each week, game to game, and honestly, it's pain. It's real pain. But a part of me is sort of glad that my club still has a bit of that sort of you know trophy heritage. The ability to just, even when you're at your worst, still find a way. But then, in acclaimed by the masses of top gooners, um, this is one of the best ever eras for Arsenal. It's one of the best ever eras for Mikel Arteta. Super duper Mick. And the feelings after their semi-finals is, I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of what we've done. I'm thinking, a Champions League semi-final. The only proud thing you have is beating Madrid, but Madrid, that's in its own little mini crisis right now. So, I suppose maybe, yeah, sure, you could be happy about that, but yeah, it didn't quite chalk up. You couldn't quite measure up against a PSG, and yeah, not great, not great, but it's okay. The fans are happy. But Man United's case, I tell you what, if we can if we succumb to the bottle, the Arsenal bottle, the classic Arsenal bottle, um, then quite possibly there will be a fan base out there um, that actually is justifiably angrier than the Arsenal fan base. But we've got a 3-goal lead to take into to this game tonight. 3-0, 3 goals, and a bit of a hampered opposition as well. I mean, the team that Bilbao come to Old Trafford with is a fair bit weaker than it was over in Bilbao, missing a centre back through a red card, and both the Williams brothers out with injuries, and of course, still their best player, Sanse, is not fit to play. So, yeah, a difficult scenario for Bilbao, but Manchester United, perfect opportunity to really cement themselves into the final. 3 goals, a lot of people think that is game, set, and match, that is tie over, but it's 90 minutes, and especially with momentums in European competitions, some crazy things can happen. So I'm not resting until I see my team get second half with quite a strong position. And by strong, I mean still have that 3-goal advantage by the time we are in the second half of this game tonight. Because if we are not there, if they do get back into the tie, then I'm very much in the camp that this is going to be Bilbao's tournament. That they'll come back from a 3-goal deficit, and that's basically how we crown the champions of Europa League. But one thing I do have to say is that in no world, really, despite Man United being the way that they are, in no world do I believe that this team should be in a position to lose this game. In any capacity, it maybe losing is a bit too far fetched. It's possible we lose the game, but not the tie. I'd probably go as far as to say that perhaps a most realistic scoreline might be either a 1-1 or a 2-1 result here in favour of Man United. Just simply because I feel like that Bilbao team is struggling for individual quality, but they can still put together a team performance. They can still outplay Man United. You know, they looked like they were outplaying us at the start of the first leg. First 20, 15, 20 minutes, you know, all Bilbao. The only saving grace was that we looked like we were capable of scoring on the attack with our offside goal. But then, of course, the goal scored by Casemiro, assisted by Lamine Maguire Yamal. Um, yeah, it was just a weird. The game sort of collapsed for Bilbao in quite a weird way. It was a peculiar thing, and I can't imagine there will be a repeat of the same thing. One thing that I just hope we don't find is that this team gets too complacent, and the complacency is probably the biggest factor um, about these European competition second legs that we tend to find very, quite a repetitive instance. You know, teams that is still a strong lead in the first leg, the second leg they play in a lower gear. They're not fussed. They're not worried. They're just yeah. We'll just play the way we want to play, and yeah, we'll just relax. But the opposition don't relax. You know, early goal first half, it becomes a two-goal game, and beyond that, anything can happen. So, if anything, one thing I would like to see happen is an early goal for United in the first half to make it a four-goal deficit. Because then, if Bilbao want to ever see that final, they've got to try and put four past us in one game, which so it's possible for some teams. I mean, what was it? Leon did that. Four goals they put past us. Um, so yeah, it was not good, guys. It was not good. But yeah, I do think that yeah, I do think that this team is walking wounded, but more than capable of doing mission impossible against us. So yeah, the team selection, predicted lineups is gone with. I don't necessarily think there is too much to be overly concerned about. Very a bit more experienced. We do have options available to us as well, which is very good. Um, they've gone with Anana in goal, a back three of Yora, Maguire, Lindelof, with then Mazraoui and Dorgu as your wing backs, Casemiro, Ugarte in midfield, with Garnacho, Fernandez, and Hoyland as the attacking contingent. Of course, Amad Diallo is a feature available. Yeah, we can use him. I don't know whether it will be the case he'll start or be on the bench tonight. I'd imagine because of the injury precautions and our manager isn't Mikel Arteta, we can expect them to be a bench option. And ideally, try and save Amad Diallo to perhaps start him in the final if we, judging that we can get through tonight without any hiccups, without any mishaps. And yeah, a couple of players that could be back before then as well. Hopefully, the next three Premier League games, we can use that as fitness tests. Get players more prepped for a culmination game of the season. So yeah, I've gone with sort of like a 1-1-2-1 feature, towards leaning more so towards United, and I'd like to believe that we can get this result over the line, but never say never. It's Europa League and it's a Spanish team. Barcelona have overturned a 4-goal deficit in the Champions League before, and that was with PSG scoring a goal in the second leg as well, and Barca still went through. Um, and pendulum swings in the Champions League and other European competitions. Inter Milan, example of that. Last minute goal to send Barcelona through, and Barcelona still lost the tie. So things like this can happen. It's European competitions. Expect the unexpected. Um, so yeah, and I've got to say as well, I'm absolutely loving the despair and outrage that whoever wins Europa League gets a Champions League spot despite league positioning being absolutely abysmal. And Arsene Wenger saying, well, I believe that they should not be able to go to Champions League. I don't think that if you win Europa League, you can go to the next competition. I think you must win it and then not qualify for next competition. You must earn a place in the Champions League. So it's funny that you say this, Arsene. It's funny that you say it. Teams should earn their place in the Champions League, and that is correct. You should earn a place in the Champions League. So why can a fourth place league finish with no trophy qualify you for it then? Why can a trophyless season qualify you for a spot in Champions League? However, it's an outrage that the same governing European footballing body in UEFA have a tiered competition list, and the winning the tier below, the one team to win it all, qualifies to play in the competition above. That's the outrage, but not finishing fourth place with no trophy. Or in this case, in this country, fifth place and no trophy qualifies you for Champions League. That doesn't sound very much like earning to me. That just sounds like you were the fifth best team in your country. Here, have a backdoor route into the competition. I disagree with that. It by your metrics or standards, because then technically, if you say that one should earn it by acumen, let's say, then would it not make sense that the Champions League are for champions, not best of the rest? Because that last time I checked, it's not the best of the rest league; it's the Champions League. So champions should be playing champions, and Arsenal are not champions. Chelsea are not champions. At least not yet, anyways. Newcastle, they're champions of the Carabao Cup, right? Champions of the Carabao Cup. They should get they should qualify for something because they won a trophy. They should get, based off of acumen, a reason to play for it. And I think that's important that teams recognise this, teams realise this. That going for cups like the Carabao Cups and FA Cups, they mean something because you qualify for another competition with that. But it's weird because everyone's like, "Nah, that's below us. That's below us. Can't be us." Well, I feel like maybe I'm on my own here, but I feel like maybe Arsenal Football Club should be given a real humbling lesson. A proper humbling lesson. Maybe clubs, right, that say that these cup competitions are beneath them and we're too big to win that competition, should lose the rights of qualifying for Champions League through league finishing. You either win the champion, you either win your spot in the and that's what it should be, actually. To qualify for Champions League, you have to win your spot, not finish in the right spot, win your spot, you know? And it's not luck of the draw, it's because your sporting acumen came first and you aimed and endeavoured to be better than the rest. And it would reflect because you'd be in a competition when you had to win, you had to be a champion to get there. How about that? Who would have thought about that? And the coalition as well, by the way, as to how many teams per country qualify. Well, we've got Carabao Cup and FA Cup. FA Cup gets you into the I believe the FA Cup gets you into the Europa League, and then is it Carabao Cup gets you Conference League? I think I might be right there, or might be wrong there, but yeah, yeah. Maybe however many cup competitions you have, whoever wins those cup competitions is the one that decides, which tier of competition you get into. Maybe that's how it should be. Maybe that's what leagues should start referring to. If you have a cup competition, if you got your league, the champions of your league gets into Champions League. Europa League win the to qualify for that you must win the most esteemed cup competition in your country. And then Conference League, maybe there's a second tier cup competition that you can win. Just a thought. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you guys disagree. Maybe you guys think that's a complete and utter disgrace. But that's how I feel. And yeah, cheers, Arsenal. Cheers. If we go into Champions League, if we win it all, and that's a big if we win it all, then all I can say is this cup won't be filled with coffee the next time. It'll be filled with tears. Tears from the rivals. Tears. Cheers for your tears. But share with us your thoughts in the comment section and your score predictions. And who do you think wins the Europa League? Do you think there could be an upset in either of these two games tonight in the Europa League? Do you think Bodo Glimt, 2 goals they've got to get back at home on that AstroTurf pitch? Maybe there's something to be said there. Maybe it's not all completely wrapped up over in Bodo Glimt over in Norway. With Man United's case, maybe it's just a big giant killing. Who knows? But I'm certainly, as per the title of the video, I'm very much in the belief that we shall avoid the bottle, but never say never with Man United. And yeah, fingers crossed we get into the finals tonight. And then we face West Ham on the weekend, on the Sunday. And funnily enough, I'm going to be in Wembley on the Sunday, not for the sense of watching well, probably will end up watching Man United for a little bit, but I'm up there to support my more local team, Aldershot, facing off Spennymoor in an FA Trophy final. Go back my local team, lower divisions, Conference League. Conference League Aldershot. Hopefully, I would love to see Aldershot make a comeback of, like biblical proportions for the rest of the footballing ladder. I'd like to see Aldershot go all the way, like just get promoted, get taken. Let's just get some Saudi billionaires to take over Aldershot Town and just see what happens. Just see what happens. Just see what happens to them. I would really like for somebody that's doing with Rex, like to do with Aldershot, what Rob McAnally, I think it's McAnally, McAlenny or something. I think it's McAlenny, and yeah, I forgot. Ryan Reynolds is doing with Wrexham. I would like to see more people, that have an ambition to think, oh, I would love to make a really, I'd love to take these smaller clubs and make them a lot bigger and a lot more successful. Like I'd love to see more people in football ownership do that, right? If not, get fan-owned clubs, sign a deal with them that you finance them, right? You finance you fund their clubs, right? You get to put money into those clubs and to watch them thrive. That would be great. That would be fantastic. But hell, it's I'm not one of those people with tons of bottomless pits of cash. everybody else has. Um, but who knows? Maybe when I'm maybe 60 or 70, maybe I've got absolute millions and billions at my disposal. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I could, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be dead before then, but who knows? Maybe we're all dead before then. But if I do have, if I do ever accumulate billions, I am definitely, I'm there. I'm involved with football, 1 million%. So yeah, maybe you guys would as well. Would you take over a football club if you were a multi-billionaire? Let us know in the comment section down below. As well as that, smash the like and also subscribe to the channel. And definitely back tonight with the match reaction to the game. Hopefully, we are talking finals, um, and not complete and utter disappointment. And yeah, let's see. Will it be Tottenham? Most likely will be Tottenham. Or will it be Bodo Glimt? Never say never. Um, let's see. Let's see what the results are at the end of the day. Take care, people. And yeah, we'll see you guys later on tonight. All the best. Cheers to your tears.